Hello and welcome back to Dark Souls 3 Champions Ashes mod, playing with the stake drive, or the stake driver in NG+3. So, here we are, Archdragon Peak. Going to kill Nameless King. And maybe, hopefully, probably, ending the game today, or on this episode. Because, why not? Why not? I'm excited to play with Kirkhammer. I'm not gonna lie, Kirkhammer, I like it a lot. I sang its praises. I like Ludwig's Holy Blade. I like it a lot. I sang its praises. The Yuko, it's good. It's you know, it's okay. The fact that it takes 40 dexterity is what kills it for me, but it's okay. It's okay. It can be good. It's good. It's a good weapon in New Game Plus. It's an okay weapon. The problem is it's 40 dex. It's an extreme amount of dexterity for early game. Blades of Mercy, I like them, but you know my problems with them. The problem is range, which, I mean, they're daggers, so yeah, of course there's going to be a problem with range. Just, no, it's a dagger. This weapon actually also has the same problem. The only difference is this weapon does shit ton of damage more than Blades of Mercy, so there's that. What else is there? Hunter's Axe, great weapon. If you don't want the Saw Cleaver, Hunter's Axe is definitely good. It's a strength weapon and is a starting weapon. Saw Cleaver is average. It's never drop. It's a quality weapon. You know, it has equal amount of dex and strength scaling, so there's that. It's a quick weapon and it has range. So there we go. Whirling Saw is a gimmick weapon which is fun, does a lot of damage. Not gonna deny that. It does a lot of damage. And the stake driver is a gimmick weapon that does a lot of damage. Is it more fun than the Whirling Saw? Yes. Why? It looks cooler. And I'm a sucker for looks. Yes, I'm that shallow. Suck me. So yeah, simple as that. Nameless King is gonna be a quick fight? I don't know. A good fight? Yes. This is always good. This is always a good fight. I mean, come on. Always. Ooh, not when my reflexes are bad. Why are my reflexes bad? What happened? I don't know, man. This is what happens when you don't play Dark Souls for a day. You just get rusty. I hate you. You're not gonna stagger? Really? I guess I'm gonna kill you the old-fashioned way. Chopping off your head. There we go. Don't do that badass walk. You're not that much of a badass. Ooh. Nice damage. I like it. Okay, okay. This is good damage. I can do this. I can do this. Oh. Second phase already? Second phase already. Okay. Don't mind me, I do. What? Shh, 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 shh. Don't question. How did you? There we go. That's how you dodge. Yes! Yes! I got the special one. Nice. You gotta do it. Come on. You gotta do it. Also, good fight. Good fight. And now Pontiff. Good coffee. Damn it, it's good coffee. I'm sorry, but it is good coffee. I like my coffee. I'm a coffee man. I like my tea. I'm a tea man too. But damn, it's just good coffee. That's all I'm gonna say. Why are you whispering? I don't know. It's good coffee. Let's continue. We're now in the sewers. Which, granted, this is now more advanced than the 10th. Sorry, the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, the 12th, the 13th, the 14th, the 15th, and maybe even the 16th century. Because you know, whenever, if anyone ever argues that burning books is okay, just remember, Romans had heated floors and sewage. The Middle Ages did not. So yeah. You kind of have to wonder what would have happened if Rome stayed with its religion. It did not accept Christianity. Because that was a form of dissent. That was a form of fracturing the nation, which it did. So yeah, it is a good question of what would have happened. The books wouldn't be burned, obviously. So all the writings of the philosophers, historians, you know, how it's done, would have stayed. The great aqueducts of Rome would have stayed. The sewage system would have stayed. So yeah. And you know, if anyone tries to argue what's the cause that destroyed Rome, there's no one single cause. There's multiple. I can give you my theory if you want to hear it, because I am a person for history. Oh, for fuck's sake! My theory goes: one, the Huns. Not the fighting over the Huns. No. The effects of the Huns, because Germanic tribes, Eastern tribes, fled the Huns because Huns were being cruel, unbelievably, destroying cities, destroying towns, destroying villages. So they were fleeing all that. And where did they go? To Rome. Because Rome was the only nation that had walls, basically, or strong walls. So they went to Rome. And with that action, Rome had an immigration crisis. I fucked that up so hard, it's unbelievable. And faced with that, Rome was not ready with that immigration crisis. It was not ready, it just wasn't. And then you have Christianity fracturing the nation in half, basically, because how do you go from spending your whole life, your whole culture, being around, you know, this monolithic thought of gods and nature, to all of a sudden accepting there's only one being there? That fractured the nation. That fundamentally changed what it meant to be Roman. And then we have that Rome actively stopped eating other cultures and basically taking... Americans try to say that their system is basically like the Roman system. No, it's not. Rome never allowed different cultures to be president inside of their nation. No, there was Roman. Rome took from other cultures. Rome took from the Gauls, took from the Celts. It took from them, infused inside of what it can. But everything else, there were no Gauls. You were not a Gallic citizen. You were a Roman citizen. You're not a Celtic citizen. You were a Roman citizen. So there was that. You were considered Roman. You accepted the Romans' way, not your own. Probably if you're far away from Romans, culture, Romans, more centralized cities, then you probably had a little bit more free, leeway on how you could interact and do stuff traditional. But the Roman heartland, you were Roman, and you were doing the Roman way or no other way, basically. And that was the success of it, because it was all unified. You can't have a gigantic empire and not have something to unify your people. That's stupid. That's mental. And yeah, that's what brought Rome to a certain degree of the downfall, was the whole Christianity thing. It just fractured Rome, because now what it meant to be a Roman citizen. Then again, the immigration, the wars, although the endless wars kind of stopped because Rome decided, realized that they just can't do it. They cannot. That's why they built the walls to limit Rome, because even Rome knew it just cannot continue just waging wars nonstop. And unfortunately, that also brought stagnation, because when you create an empire out of conquest and don't try to transition into an empire that can sustain itself, because Rome just couldn't. Rome lived off of its conquered territory, basically. They needed Egypt, which was conquered. It was not part of Rome, which, fair enough, at that point it was Roman, just it wasn't, original territory. It wasn't de jure. It's de facto Roman, but not de jure. So Rome needed that to feed the people. Rome needed gold to pay the people. So it's like, it's all that, and like a lot of things contributed to it. Could it have stayed united? Yes, it could. It should have stopped taking in barbaric mercenaries in its hold. That also eradicated the army, because the soldiers stopped being loyal to the emperor, to the country, to the nation. They became loyal to the warlords, to the generals. So that was a problem. Now, naturally, I'm talking about this, and one of my favorite historical figures is Caesar, and Augustus. So, that's a little bit hypocritical of me, because Caesar used his popularity to become a senator, and in the end, a dictator, which I agree was way better than the Roman Republic. It was, definitely. And now all of a sudden, people want to crucify Caesar, want to paint him as some kind of dude. No, Caesar was a good guy. Sorry, not sorry, he was good. Because you have to look at it this way. Who was Caesar fighting for? Did Caesar enslave 1,000,000 Gauls? Probably. Was he fighting for the Gauls? Fuck no. Did he see Gauls as his enemies? Yes. So for who was he good? For Romans. What he is? A Roman? People now all of a sudden want, some want to judge Caesar for what he done to the Gauls. Excuse me, he was doing it for the Romans. Personal wealth too, of course, because every action is selfish, let's be honest here. But also he brought unbelievable stability to Rome. He brought prosperity to Rome. And borders. So he was not fighting for the Gauls. He didn't give a fuck about the Gauls. Granted, who would? Why would you, a Roman citizen, care about the Gauls? You just wouldn't. Let's be honest here. The same reason today. People are fake caring because everybody wants to seem like there's some kind of paragon of virtue. No. People don't give a fuck about lives. People don't give a fuck about some unknown individual dying somewhere. No, they don't give a fuck about it. If they see it on the news or social media, they're like, oh, it's so sad. Yeah, let's move on with my life. Because it doesn't affect me. And at that point, you're just fake. That's why I don't give a fuck about, oh, someone died. Oh, well, they died. Because what do I care? I don't know them. Does that affect me? No. If it was someone I knew, oh, damn. I'm never going to be disrespectful, of course. I'm never going to be spitting on someone's grave. But I'm not also going to be fake sad. Be like, oh, no, rest. I mean, just today I just saw someone, a rapper dying. Unfortunately being killed for who knows what reason. That's unfortunate. Like, dying for no reason is just unfortunate. No matter what. But I'm not gonna pretend like, oh, it's so sad. Like, I don't care. Is it sad that he died? Yes. Is it going to affect me? No. At the end of the day, I don't care. And that's simple fact. Like, stop it. Stop trying to be some kind of a caring person. Like, come on. First of all, it's stupid. No, you don't give a fuck about that individual. You now just care because you heard of it. And you might be wondering, well, how can you say that? How are you so sure about that? Simple. Millions and millions and millions of people die every day. No one sheds a tear. Just because one individual dies on the news doesn't make you now supposed to feel so much sorry about that. If you're gonna feel sorry about this unknown person that you never met in your life, then you better start crying for every single individual who dies every single second of this on this earth. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. Pure and simple. You can say it's an unfortunate thing they died and move on, because that's all about it is. It's an unfortunate thing that 27-year-old died. That's unfortunate, and that's it. Move on. But people wanna care all of a sudden. People wanna care. Now, naturally, when I'm talking about America, because let's be honest, the world doesn't give a fuck. The world doesn't care. Because why should it care? What does it matter to a South African what's happening in America? They don't give a fuck. They care about their own problems. Only Americans want to care about what's happening to them. I might be wondering, well, what's happening to me? Isn't that hypocritical? Well, I can tell you what's happening to me, but here's the thing. You can't going around claiming you're the center of the world, because let's be real, America acts like it's in the center of the world, and forcing yourself so that your domestic situations and your foreign situations be in the center of the news everywhere, because you are, well, let's not kid ourselves, a superpower. I don't know how much China is getting into the superpower world, but for now let's just say a superpower. Everyone is going to be interested in what's happening because they want to know where they stand. I can tell you what's happening here. We're having protests. You might be wondering, well, what are they protesting for? I have no fucking idea. It started because they wanted to implement new lockdowns because the situation here with the virus is getting horrible. It's disgraceful what's happening, how much we're getting infected, and people are now crying about it. They're like, oh, we should now, people now don't want to have a lockdown, even though under the lockdown it was way better. Either way. And some people might say, oh, you don't understand. I understand completely. I'm just looking at it from the perspective of there doesn't need to be that many deaths. It doesn't have to be a complete lockdown. It can be a modular one. People are not going to die because they can't go to birthdays, for fuck's sake. That's not a necessary thing. Working, okay, sure, but birthday, no. Celebrations, no. Come on. But yeah, and then I'll process about that. And a curious thing is, which I'm of the full opinion that is an attempted coup or an attempted strike at the government to try to change the government, to abolish the government. Basically, it went from anti-lockdown protests to talking about Kosovo and our and how they're not gonna give it up and stuff like that. That's how you know it was not about the virus. That's how you fucking know. In fact, more and more people are now being even in favor of it. Not these, who are protesting, but more and more people are like, yeah, we should get back into lockdown because it's getting ridiculous, which I completely agree. Even the officials in the government are like, yeah, we should get into a lockdown. This is getting horrible. But how should I say this in English? Let's just say one part of the government that decides if there's going to be a lockdown doesn't want to have a lockdown. Even though everyone says like it should be, please, like this is getting ridiculous. Can we get, because like again, under lockdown we had under 100 infected. We're having now over 300, and that's a lot for a 7 million country. That is too much for every single day. I think that's too much, honestly. Either way, so it showed that these protests are not about some kind of virus situation. No. This is about this is something different. This is a government attempted coup, because they tried it. They tried to storm the parliament. Clearly, this is not about the virus. And some on Twitter tried to be, oh, police brutality. Yeah, there will be police brutality if you're throwing Molotov cocktails and flares and rocks at the police. Of course. Is the world insane? You expect that. Your action brought you getting a beat up. And here's how that is realistic. There was some peaceful protests happening, not a single incident of police brutality. If everything is peaceful, you do your protest thing, no one is gonna hurt you. But the moment you start throwing rocks, guess what's gonna fucking happen? You're getting a fucking a rod to the head. Just be peaceful, for fuck's sake. But that's not the goal. It's not the goal to be peaceful. The protests were never the goal. It was clearly an attempt of a coup. To bring that, why? I have my theories, and I can tell you one. Because if you're actually interested in the Serbian situation of the politics, I can talk about that. Here's what happened. We had to have talks with European Union about resolving the whole Kosovo situation, and it was the day before our president had to leave. Yes, I'm gonna say our president, even though there's some protests against him, because first of all, I didn't vote, because I didn't care, and I'm of the opinion that if you don't vote, if you're in a democratic country, and you don't vote, shut the fuck up. They all talk about majority. First of all, the majority didn't vote. If there is a majority, you can vote him out. You can vote out the government. Hello, you are the majority. But no, people didn't vote. Okay, fine then. Shut the fuck up. Clearly you have no problems with how things are. I didn't care. I have no right to protest now. Even though I might be saying, oh, no, I did not vote. It's hypocritical of me to now go around and protest if I didn't vote. What's the point? I mean, hello? So yeah, that's my opinion on things about the protest thing. Back to the whole situation, how the protest started. So yeah, a day before the whole talks with European Union about Kosovo and the dialogue and shit like that, the protest happened, and that night, and the president is supposed to go the next morning, to, or the morning after, actually. Sorry, not the next day immediately, but the morning after. So you have to see it this way, from my perspective. You went from this is about the virus protest to trying to storm the parliament and screaming about the Kosovo and all that shit. Excuse me, this is no longer about the virus. This is a political attack. This is a politically motivated situation, and it is, because now it seems like Serbia is not unified. It seems like there's not a lot of stability, and it seems like maybe the forces who are against getting to a dialogue, or who are against some kind of favorable deal for Serbia, can say, well, we can go to the opposition. Maybe they can get into power. And yes, there were foreigners into the protests. They actually published IDs that there are some foreign actors. Now, some say Israel, some say America, some say Britain, some say our neighbors, but there was confirmation. I actually saw an American name or an English name, so it could be England or America in there. So there's clearly some foul play here. So yeah, I was just like, all of you talking about this is my biggest problem with democratic countries. You have the power to vote out anyone. Excuse me, people. You have the power, but you didn't. So shut the fuck up. Wait for the elections, and then go out, vote, and it will be done. If enough of you thought the same way, you would win. Pure and simple. Because that's the majority. That's how democracies work. You have to vote. If you don't vote, what's the point? What the fuck you being mad about? If you're not voting, that means you're okay with the status quo. Pure and simple. I mean, come on. But no, people want to have their cake and eat it. People want to be like, I don't want to vote, but I'm going to protest because I did not exercise my right to vote. Honestly, this whole situation make me more and more favorable to, if it's going to be a democracy, it should not be a democracy by right. It should be basically, if you own land or if you contribute, if you work, then you have the right to vote. If you don't work, no right to vote. Pure and simple. Because if you work, that means that the policies are actually going to infect you directly. That's why I say that. If you work, if you serve in the army, if you serve in some kind of government form, you should be able to vote. If you don't do that, get the fuck out. Clearly, the policy is not going to infect you, so get the fuck out. Now, if you're saying, well, that's not again, it's not a democracy by right. It's democracy by, I don't know what's called, by action, by law. I don't know. Point is, this whole situation makes me favorable to that, because come on, you have the right to vote. Vote. If you don't like someone, vote. I did that previous election year. I voted against. I did not win. You know, my candidate did not win. Oh well. Did I protest? No. Why not? I did not care to protest. I could. I had all right to do that. I did not care. Now I did not vote because I really did not care about voting. There was no candidate that was interesting to vote for, and I didn't. And clearly, I have no right to protest. Now I might be saying, yes, you do. I know I do, but it's hypocritical of me to protest if I did not include myself into the democratic process. It's very hypocritical to go around protesting if you did not even vote. Because then what the fuck are you talking about? You didn't want to be a part of this, and now you want to join in? What the fuck are you talking about? Plus, I'm not the biggest fan of democracies. Why? Very much simple. No democracy is real. No one. Even the biggest quote-unquote lover of democracy, the United States, is not a real democracy. Because if it was, it would be a democracy, you know, by majority instead of the electoral college. Pure and simple. It would be that. You're not a true democracy. So, here's. And then, you know, someone say, oh, but we're a republic. Then stop talking about democracy. Stop trying to bring democracy to other nations. How about that, if you're not a true democracy? I think the only one who has a right to do that kind of shit is India. India, I think, has a full-on, you know, democracy by majority. If I remember correctly. I could be wrong. Either way, my point is, I think it's just ridiculous. Oh, really? Really? Okay. I'm sorry about talks, but I'm trying to show that I'm not, you know, I'm not bashing anyone. Actually, I'm bashing everyone. My point is that for those who might call me hypocritical about talking some other foreign countries' news instead of my own, that's why I do it. But I don't know how much people will be interested. First of all, how many people know even where Serbia is? Let's be real here. And plus, most of the people, when I see my analytics, people who watch me are from America mostly. So, you know, might as well talk about what's happening there than what's happening here in my small country. Either way, that was fun. It's a fun weapon. So how do I rank them? Okay, number one, in my opinion, right now, Ludwig's Holy Blade. Ludwig's Holy Blade, number one. Number two, Kirkhammer. Number three, the Rakio. Number four, Blades of Mercy. Number five, Saw Cleaver. Number six, Hunter's Axe. Number seven, Stake Drive. And number eight goes to the Whirling Saw. All of these rankings are by looks, not by actual merit and usefulness. If you want to go by usefulness, each and every single weapon is useful. Each and every single one. Trust me, all of them are good weapons. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, or comment. I greatly appreciate the support. Goodbye.